Welcome to episode 4 of the Control and Freak podcast. I'm your host, Sean James, here with my fellow co-host,
Calvin Mantella.
And today we have a special guest all the way from Angry Dogs Collective, the man, the myth, the legend, Banyon. Let's give it for Banyon. Woo!
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Alright, so to start off, tell us a little bit about Angry Dog. How did it get started, all of that?
So, Angry Dogs started about 2 years ago. It was started by Christian Buelna, who is now my, we're half and half on this, so we both get 50% of the blame.
Okay, nice.
But he actually originally started off as just my manager last year, and we just discovered that we both kind of had the same vision, and he was like, hey, you want to just help me out on this? And that's pretty much it went from there, so yeah.
So how did you guys meet originally?
Instagram. He just randomly followed me, and I actually posted a story. I just said, hey, I'm looking for some artist management. Anybody have any leads out there? And he sent like the 2 eye emojis, you know? And I'm like, oh, then that's how the conversation got started. And it was a long process. About 3 months went by of kind of bouncing contracts back and forth, and we came to an agreement, and yeah. And here we are. So
Logistics went smoothly, everything like that.
Oh yeah, totally. I think it went smooth just because we were both on the same page before we even started it,
No, yeah.
So that really kind of just wiped all that confusion away right off the bat, and yeah, just went from there. So yeah.
And what's it like DJing for Angry Dog?
It's great. Yeah, it's great. We've made a lot of progress over the last year.
Mm-hmm.
The label side of it started last year, January, so it's actually technically our 1 year.
I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, so it's been 1 year. Last year we did some small stuff. We did Shelter at the beginning of last year on a Thursday, and it went all right. And just from there, we've just kind of been just stacking on top. We have a residency in North Park right now. We do.
Awesome.
Every other weekend. It was every weekend, but that was just too much on top of it. On top of everything we were doing, So, it's been good, and now we're starting to be like totally booked every single weekend now. So, super busy, but it's nice. We love being busy.
And now you're playing shows with the big and bad Control and Freak. How do you
Absolutely.
feel about that?
Love it. They, I think Christian approached them, or they approached us. I can't remember. He was the one kind of handling that, and they came out to North Park, to the AC Lounge, the legendary AC Lounge, and they killed it. We had a great time, and and just slowly from there, we've just kind of been going back and forth. They'll have an idea, we have an idea, and yeah, absolutely.
So I also see Nigel on your Instagram a lot.
Yeah.
I've known him for a long time. How'd that come together?
So Nigel, I met in 2018, and he was my mentor in my school program I went through. So I was originally going to Berklee College of Music online for music production and composition, and I dropped out after 2 years, and then I went to the Recording Connection, and that's pretty much they give you an in-studio internship, and you get a mentor, so you like have schoolwork, but then your class time is like being in the studio working. Awesome. So he was originally my mentor. I graduated beginning of 2020, and then just the years have gone by, and then he approached us and said, hey, do you need any help? So we made him our event manager, and he's our in-house studio engineer. So he does like recording sessions and all that fun stuff.
So how often are you playing? Because you did tell me you're really busy.
Yeah. So, last year, I would say, last year and the year prior, it was like, maybe once a month, once every 2 months, but literally these last 3 months, it's been every single weekend. And it's not just like one, it's been like multiple. So like 2 weekends ago, I had 4 in a row. I had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then this weekend I got Friday, Saturday, and then the next weekend we got Saturday. So I'm just like,
I bet that can feel like both a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Yeah, I think the curse side of it is it takes away from like production time. Yeah. Because during the week you're having a plan for the weekend, and you got to get stuff done. Because sometimes you don't have time. Just house chores and stuff like that. Right. The weekend comes, I'm like,
no life comes.
Yeah, I'm like tapped out now. So I got to get a lot of stuff done before all those shows come. And but I love it. Like I said, if I'm not doing things, I feel like I don't want to say I get down on myself, but boredom kicks in. I like having goals to be hitting as I'm going.
First, you're saying the weekend's gonna be, or once a weekend's gonna be too busy, and now you're gonna be doing it every day.
Yeah, that's
every day. Come on.
We'll cross that when we get to there, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the sleep. Prioritizing after those weekends is definitely the most important. So
Right.
Yeah.
I gotta ask. I like your drip real quick. It looks very nice. I like the jacket.
Thank
it's
you.
Very good. But I gotta ask about the hair. Is there
Yeah.
any routine with it? Like that?
Yeah.
It looks really good. I'm not gonna lie.
I actually just got a haircut. It was getting totally out of control. I let it grow the longest I've ever let it. It's like, dude, keep it going, keep it. But it was like covering my eyes half the time. I was like, felt like Justin Bieber, like flipping it, But I just put gel. I slick it back, put some hairspray, slick it back again, and if I'm lucky, it holds all day. If not, then it just kind of does whatever. So
nice. We gotta get some hair for this guy.
Ouch, no, you're matching. I had a puffer jacket on earlier.
Oh,
black
sweet,
and white. I'm missing the black shirt. Got the shade match. You were going in.
Thank you.
So what are you doing besides DJing? Are you working or what are you doing?
Yeah, so I do take care of my special needs brother pretty much almost full time. My family, we're all super close. So growing up with that, we've had to come together and make it work. He's 24, I'm 26, so he's actually an inch taller than me. He's 6'4", so he's a real big guy. Yeah, he's 220. I'm only 180, so he's a big kid. He's super cool though. And then I also own another company on the side, and I would say that's more of my full-time job. But so I just kind of bounce back and forth between those three things.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a lot going for yourself. Where do you find the time to get some you time, some Banyon time?
My me time has always been kind of music and creativity.
Okay.
So it kind of works out. So I'll sit down, I'll produce, and I'm like, I'm golden. I'd say that's my free time. I mean, if I have like 30 minutes or something, I'll be like, all right, I'm just gonna scroll on my phone and
that happens sometimes with me as well.
For sure. So I mean, it's like I said, it's worked out good because I create and it benefits me in the in the music world. So it's all good.
And then I understand fairly recently you had a sort of brand change with your name. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. So my old name was it was my name, but it just didn't have vowels in it because
B-N-Y.
it was cool to not have vowels in 2018.
I'd say vowels are in.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. So that originally started because I was originally a hip hop producer. And that was kind of like the name for it. I worked a lot with Riston Diggs, who still plays in some of my sets. We have songs together. I guess I'll just give you some background, but we produced an album in 2021 while everything was like shut down, and we won a San Diego Music Award for it the following year. I sold beats online and did all that kind of stuff beforehand, and and it just kind of ended up here. So the name change, back to the question, sorry I derailed there, but
tangents are great.
People didn't know how to say it. So it was like, BNY, Banyon. I got Banyon a lot.
Banyon?
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's not it. So I'm like, screw it, just change it. I feel like my name's kind of unique enough as it is already, and just let it ride, So,
Only reason I knew how to say your name was I heard Damien say it a bunch of times.
And
then he was talking about it, and I was like, oh, Banyon.
For sure, it's different. I always say it's Canyon, but with a B at the beginning.
So is there a reason for the change, or it just kind of just happened naturally?
I mean, like I said, I think the main reason was just like to get rid of confusion, and there was another producer called like BNYX too, I think.
Oh, too similar.
It was too.
You don't want him breathing down your neck.
Exactly. So I'm just kind of like, man, I think it's time.
Excuse me, I need you to change your name, please.
Yeah, for sure.
Legalities.
Exactly. Yeah. It's pronunciation. When you see it on a flyer, it just gets the message straight.
Got it.
There's no like, who's this? Is there an acronym? And it's just too much.
So as you were asking artists earlier, do you have a festival that you really want to play at, and a dream person to play with? It doesn't have to be any type, it can be any genre of music.
Okay.
A festival, you can name a couple if it's too hard, but do you have any?
So,
Coachella.
Yeah, no, I would say festival. I'd probably say like EDC or something, just because I feel like there's enough unique stages to where no matter what subgenre you're in, it'll be like a slam dunk. As far as artists, I'd say EDM. It's kind of cliche, but I'd say John Summit. I think he's just very versatile. He plays everywhere. He could be in Tulum and play a set that fits Tulum, or he could play a festival.
Right.
So I think it might be an easy back-to-back because then,
Exactly.
you're both DJing for the setting rather than trying to fit that artist mold.
Speaking of playing anywhere, you have a show coming up Friday
Yes.
at Mavericks.
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
I'm ready. We've been wanting to play at Mavericks for quite a while now.
Yeah.
So,
Would this be your first time playing
yeah.
there?
So I've been there once for fun, and we just we just
Party.
messed around. We didn't really do anything.
Exactly.
Just wanted to check it out, so I'm excited for that. And then this Saturday, so the day after, I'm going to be headlining Avenue in Pacific Beach. That kind of just fell on my lap this last 3 days, so it was kind of a last minute ad. So
Well, you sound like a workaholic, so maybe with the good grace of your hard work, it fell into your lap.
I hope so. Yes, I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. So no, we're super excited for Friday though. We've been wanting to come in there. They always throw the Control and Freak great events. It's always fun. Have a great time every time. So.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Any nervous tension about that?
I feel like I've performed my whole life.
Yeah, no.
So I mean, I do get nervous still, even though I've been doing it forever. But it's more of like a good nervous. I've kind of brainwashed myself to like be.
I can understand that.
It's excitement. I'm not nervous. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And that helps. But it depends what it is. If it's like a really big thing, like I would always get nervous for Bloom. And I'm just like, oh my god. But I've had a ton of technical errors there happen. 3 out of the 6 times I've played there, something dumb's happened.
Can you maybe tell us one of those technical errors?
Yeah, like the crossfader was on and I didn't know, so I transitioned to the next song and it's silent and I'm like,
the bass drop.
literally, yeah. It was like right when I was moving to the next track, it just stopped. I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, I've had that happen. They were having an issue with their motherboard, one of them, and the whole thing just stopped like once again right before a bass drop. Not their fault, but it was just like, it gets in your head, you're like, oh my god, do I suck, so, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that at a few festivals, and I feel bad for the artists because they're up there, and like, it's not their fault, it's not anyone's fault, it
happens.
just kind of happens.
Yep, exactly.
So do you have any inspirations how did you start DJing, and do you have anyone that inspired you to start DJing? Answered separately or together?
For sure, yeah. So, I mean, at the end of 8th grade, one of my best friends, Brandon Lagrada, shout out, he showed me Dead Mouse. And this is when I was like super, super introverted. And I was like, oh, I don't want to listen to what other people are listening to. He showed me Dead Mouse, Sophie Needs a Ladder, that track. And then Skrillex, all the Banyon stuff. And I got like super addicted to that. So I got a Newmark Mix Track Pro. I'd make horrible mixes. They're still on YouTube, deep somewhere.
I bet they're great.
Like 50, yeah,
they're fantastic.
Like 11, 13 years ago, something like that. They're still up there. It's just horrible, but you got to start somewhere. So yeah, I did that. And then like I said, when I started producing and going to school for it, I like completely transitioned all hip hop beats. That's what I was doing, and then I was doing Big Room. And then I discovered kind of like the housey side of stuff, and then now here we are. So,
how long have you been DJing producing house for?
Good question. Probably 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 years. Like it was like end of 2020 when like I started kind of hearing the tech house stuff. 2021 is when I really started doing it. I tried dubstep. No way. I
love dubstep.
Yeah, I like it, but like producing it,
not everyone's cup of tea.
It doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
It's so like there's just too much going on, and it just makes me like I just lose track of what I'm doing. You know? So yeah, it's been probably 3 years now.
Got it.
House at least. So yeah.
Nice, perfect. Do you have any inspiration that you draw from?
Now, I'd say John Summit's a good one, and I really say him because of like his DJing, because like I mentioned, I feel like to be like a really good DJ, you have to be able to just be thrown on a show and just know what to do, and I think that comes with repetition. So when people ask me like, oh, how do you get better at DJing? Not saying I'm like the best DJ or anything, but I think having some kind of a residency helps, because you get the high nights, you get the low nights, you get an old crowd, you get a young crowd, so you kind of learn what to do in different scenarios, I feel. So, I feel like that's why I don't get so nervous anymore, because it's just the repetition that's been put in,
You've just done it like repeatedly.
Exactly, yeah. So I would say he's a real big inspiration for like the DJ side.
What about production side by chance?
Yeah, production, Deadmau5 has always been a good like inspiration for me, but I would say his sound doesn't really resonate with what I'm trying to do so much anymore. So that one's kind of up in the air. I kind of pick and choose individual songs now for like inspiration.
You can be your own inspiration.
Yeah, I try.
Exactly.
So you did a pop-up recently, right?
We've done a couple. We did the rooftop with Control and Freak and Pressic. So that was fun. It was the Sunday after SantaCon, so it was, people were tired, but they showed out.
Did you play SantaCon night at any venues?
On Thursday at Bang Bang, yeah.
Bang Bang,
prior Thursday, Nigel and I did a back-to-back there.
Nice.
That was cool. It was my first time at that venue.
I'm hoping to check it out.
It's really cool. Like they have the aesthetic down.
I know. I've seen pictures.
Yeah.
Siggy, you know Siggy, right?
It's sick. Yeah, you walk in, you're just like, ooh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. And the sound system's really good too. It's like a big wood hall, so it has like the right amount of like reverberation,
Exactly.
So it slaps pretty good.
And you played at a couple other pop-ups too, or?
Yeah, so we did a pop-up at Torrey Pines on the cliff, so like overlooking the water. That one was cool.
How was that one?
It was cool. We didn't get kicked out, so that was.
Oh really?
That
Wow,
was,
rich people.
Yeah, it was good. We had like probably 60, 70 people there. It was pretty decent. And then the first one we did was on Mission Bay, Fiesta Island. Probably had 150 people there. It was crazy. Yeah.
Like on the beach, or?
Yep. So like right next to SeaWorld.
Okay.
How long ago was that?
That was August.
I think I saw a clip of that.
August or September.
I didn't know
It's
who you were yet, but
pinned.
I've seen a clip of
Yeah.
it from someone else.
Yeah, it's pinned on my first video
Okay.
because the energy was like insane. It was so good.
And when you do a pop-up, like let's say on the beach, is there any concern for stuff getting dirty, equipment sandy?
Yeah, it's
I can
kind
see
of
that's a
inevitable.
big.
Yeah,
I
the
see-
speakers filled.
Yeah, I can see partying on the beach with all this equipment can be very, very conflicting.
Yeah. It's you gotta put some blankets down, but when people start moving.
Yeah, no, so
Sand
sand's gonna
gets
go up in the
kicked
air.
up. Yeah, my speakers were like just fried with sand. So there's still sand on them actually. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it there for the memory.
So are you originally from San Diego, or where are you from?
So born and raised in Murrieta, California.
Okay.
It's about 40 minutes if you go 90 miles an hour at 3 a.m. Hour typically. I drive it like at least 3 times a week. So I take my brother down to the beach a couple times a week.
Oh, that's nice.
Then the weekend comes and I'm down here. I get hotels frequently just because
Yeah, so you
if it's a long weekend, I'm like, dude, there's no way, man. Let's
So you
drive.
drive from Murrieta down to San Diego.
Yeah.
Oh, you're still up there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm still
Oh,
up
yeah,
there.
that's a crazy
I'm a
commute.
commuter, yeah.
That's,
Exactly.
Wow, I've been driving a lot the last couple days because I was in LA.
Oh,
Orange
yeah.
County, LA. Orange County. I was like, whoa. And now
Yeah.
we're doing that every weekend, maybe, possibly.
Yep.
That's exhausting.
Well, it's nice because if I do have to go to LA, it's halfway.
It's just an
it's like an hour. So the thing is, if you move down here, then it's 3
It's
hours
just
to,
work,
so it's a give or take, little gas money and you're good,
So you're down here a lot.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
every weekend now because you keep getting shows.
Yeah,
Are you
pretty much.
Playing anything up there really, or in LA?
I might have one opportunity with an underground thing up there, but we're still kind of talking. I'm doing a song with a guy up there right now, a two-track EP, so kind of waiting to see how that, how like labels and stuff go with that. But I'm hoping I could get it up there. I've played up there a couple times, but it hasn't been anything like ultra. You know.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, is there any nightlife up in Murrieta?
No.
Yeah.
You know, there's some groups trying, and I feel like they're gonna have some good progress because you know there is a market. The only market up there is the festivals that come through to Riverside.
Okay. Yeah.
Riverside's pretty good from what I've heard downtown. It's just there's not a lot of people doing it up there. You know, it's such a mecca down here. It's like, why would you even bother trying to, you know, a lot of country bars and stuff like that. You know, they like jazz band, blues, rock and roll covers.
What about house?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. We're trying to. I'm playing a thing up there on the 25th. So I'll see how it goes. They said they kind of think the vibe is right there for it. So
Yeah. Have you ever played up there?
no.
Okay.
I mean, other than just messing around in my room, no.
You're gonna have the big first.
Yeah.
The big first festival.
Take it to the hometown.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. There's like a ton of open land up there that you know if you're
Perfect
able to,
for a rave or something.
something. Yeah. I mean, there used to be old warehouses that were abandoned, but they tore them down. So I'm like, that would have been a cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, it would have been sick, but
we threw one of our first parties in like an office.
Oh, okay.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
We've got it from a family friend, but like the warehouse.
for
parties,
sure,
so.
yeah. Well, I just played a house party in Hemet, and it was like it actually popped off really good. So that was 2 weekends ago. It was like totally random, last minute once again, but yeah.
Do you like performing house parties?
I think those are top 3 definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's you know if there's like 20 people, they're all in a small space and they're loving it. You know, that's what it is. You know.
If you could rank your top 3, what would, in order of most favorite to least favorite events to play?
Oh, that's a
Over
good
that.
one. I'd say most favorite would be like you know the really big clubs, you know, like Bloom, Nova, stuff like that. Obviously, the second one would be kind of the smaller ones, you know, and then I would say the third ones would be kind of like more the private, intimate stuff. They do hit, you know, they hit really well, but it could be very hit or miss. So that's why I put it at number 3. It's you just never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Do you have anything you want to shout out coming up? Any events? Any shows? Anything you're dropping?
Let's
Angry
see.
Dog, obviously, he wants to shout out Angry Dog.
Yeah.
First time we've had
So,
someone on the podcast.
Shout out Angry Dog. You got
There we go.
Yeah, no, got a lot of music coming out. I'm working on about 15 songs right now. I got a song with Banyon and Siggy actually that we're working on, Latin Tech House.
Okay.
All right.
I have one coming out on It's Just Noise, the label down here, March, with Bird. That's gonna be a track with Bird. I don't know if you guys know him at all, Dylan. Yeah, he's a super cool guy. Yeah, just a ton of shows. I'm gonna be playing a show out of the country. I can't announce it yet. But,
Okay, disclose. Yeah. I like
So that'll be in March. So we're waiting on the final thing, but I just got the flyer, so
TBD.
excited. I think I just got booked for a thing in Arizona too, a little festival.
Okay,
So
nice.
trying, yeah, it's
Keeping it busy.
going out, and yeah, there might be a San Francisco opportunity too.
I was just in
So
San Francisco last week. Tell
Yeah.
me to go.
Sweet,
I'm
yeah.
gonna pull up.
oh yeah, man, yeah, and then just headlining Avenue this Saturday. So
Awesome.
it'll be fun.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, of
on.
course,
I
of course.
met you on
Thank you for
Friday
coming.
night at Mavericks.
Yeah, man, it'll be sick.
Together. Thank
Sweet,
you so
man.
much.
Appreciate you guys.
Coming, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And